Good morning and welcome to the Senate Committee on Commerce and Labor. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Daly, Senator Ellison, Senator Flores,
Present.
Senator Lang, Senator Rogish, Senator Scheibel, Senator Steinbeck, Chair Pizzino.
Present, and please mark Senator Daly present when he arrives. Welcome to our members as well as our audience here in Carson City, as well as anyone who may be hiding in the background in Las Vegas and those following along online. Before we begin today, we do just have a few housekeeping announcements. First, I'd like to remind everyone to please silence all of your electronic devices while in the committee room. Members of the public may provide testimony in various ways, all of which are listed on the agenda. You may also submit public comment in writing in addition to testifying or in the place of testifying. And if you wish to testify in person, please do sign in at the table by the door and provide our committee secretary with your business card. When testifying in person, please turn on the microphone to speak and off to listen, as we do now have someone in Las Vegas and we might also have someone following along online. Anyone who'd like to receive electronic notifications of scheduled bills and access to the committee's meeting materials may do so by signing up on Nellis on the legislative website. Committee members will be using their laptops to view handouts and other exhibits, so please do not view this as a sign of disrespect or inattention. And with that, we are going to move to our first agenda item of the day, which is Senate Concurrent Resolution number 5, which recognizes antimicrobial resistance as a public health crisis and encourages certain actions to be taken in response. And we'll welcome our presenter up to the table.
Good morning, Chair Pizzino and members of the committee. My name is Esmeralda Vasquez, ESMERALDA and I am here today to ask for your support for this Senate Concurrent Resolution 5, which recognizes antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, as a serious public health crisis. Our client, B.O. Mary U., which is spelled small B-I-O, capital M-E-R-I-E-U-X, is a family-owned company, and they have grown to become a world leader in the field of in vitro diagnostics. Their entrepreneurial adventure began over a century ago and is driven by an unrelenting commitment to improve public health worldwide. Our client asked Senate leadership to introduce this resolution as a part of their campaign to inform leaders across states that while the use of antibiotics have proven to be essential life-saving medication, there is still a huge downside. Their misuse and overuse have become widespread, contributing to the rise of antimicrobial resistance, AMR. Today, patients are at risk of premature death due to AMR, and we are in a race to protect modern medicine. The CDC estimates 35,000 Americans die each year from resistant infections, and here in Nevada, we have already seen the impact. In Washoe County alone, MRSA infections increased from 32% to over 36% in just 1 year. The consequences of not taking action to fight AMR are that resistant infections lead to longer hospital stays, higher medical costs, and greater morbidity and mortality. As the resolution notes, misuse and overuse of antibiotics are accelerating this crisis. This resolution simply asks our public health care agencies to take smart, proactive steps. SCR 5 promotes better use of rapid diagnostics, stronger public education around antibiotic use, and partnerships between public and private stakeholders. The involvement of our Medicaid programs is also important because low-income communities often face the highest risk and the lowest resources to respond. AMR is not a future threat. It's already here. If we don't act now, we risk losing the power to treat basic infections. I respectfully urge you to pass SCR 5 and help position Nevada as a leader in combating this urgent crisis. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe Senator Scheibel might have had a question.
Thank you, Chair. Can you just repeat the name of the company that you work for?
B.O. Mary U. B-I-O, small B-I-O, capital M-E-R-I-E-U-X.
Got it. And if this, I understand this is a resolution, so we're not actually changing policy with it, but if the policy were to change at the national level like you're requesting, would your company financially benefit from it?
I do not know the answer from that, but I can get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think the concern is sometimes when we bring a resolution or we look at any policy change that could potentially happen in the future, and then it's brought on behalf of someone who could financially benefit, there's obviously a concern there. I understand the importance of this particular initiative and what you're trying to do, but I think that part's kind of left us with a few questions. Do we have, okay, Senator Ellison.
Is this disease, or whatever you want to call it, is it go to pulmonary? Is it lung disease, or what does it do?
So it kind of depends on what type of bacteria the person is infected with. It's an array. So if you look at, so the Northern Nevada and the Southern Nevada public health districts both have their antibiograms. Oh, through you, Chair, excuse me.
You can go direct. Thank you.
So it depends on what it is, right? So the antibiotics work for different types of bacteria. It's not necessarily affecting just lungs. It can be different types of bacteria, but I can get you an exact answer.
Yeah, I think that's important to know if it's something that's in the stomach, the lungs, or where it's at. I know there's different type of bacteria everywhere, but it give you an idea of what they're trying to focus at, because one drug don't fit everything, I don't think.
Yes, that's true. So antibiotic resistance can be like different types of antibiotics. So if there's like, so for example, MRSA, which is one of like the most resistant bacterias, it's a type of staph bacteria. That is a type of bacteria that they have tried multiple types of antibiotics and it hasn't worked. So it kind of just depends on what type of bacteria it is.
Okay, thank you. Well, Madam Chair, I'm sorry that my colleague down at the far end hit his arm out before I did.
Senator Steinbeck, did you have a question?
I do not.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have any other questions from the committee? Okay, I don't see any other questions, so we'll have you take a step back from the table and we will ask for anyone to come up who'd like to testify in support of Senate Concurrent Resolution 5. I don't see anyone here in Carson City or in Las Vegas broadcast. Do we have anyone on the phone lines who'd like to testify in support of SCR 5?
Chair, your public line is open and working, but you have no callers at this time.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone who'd like to come up in opposition of SCR 5? Not seeing anyone broadcast. Back to you. Anyone on the phone lines who'd like to testify in opposition of SCR 5?
Chair, your public line is open and working. You have no callers.
I'm guessing I know the answer to this broadcast, but while we're with you, anyone who'd like to testify in neutral on SCR 5?
You currently have no callers at this time.
I am not surprised, but thank you for checking. All right. Do we have anyone in the room who'd like to testify in neutral on SCR 5? Okay. Would you like to make any closing statements? So I would like to get some answers before we move this forward to some of the questions asked in committee today. So if you can provide those answers to the committee at your earliest convenience, just because we are hitting deadlines and session ends very shortly. So please provide us with those answers and then we will look forward to that. So thank you so much. And that will move us on to the final order of business on our agenda today, which is public comment. Is there anyone who'd like to make public comments here in Carson City? And I don't see anyone in Vegas. So we are going to go back to you, broadcast, for anyone who'd like to make any comments germane to commerce and labor.
Chair, your public line is open and working, but you have no callers at this time.
All right. Looks like we were not a popular crew this morning, but we thank you all for being here very much. And we will have another meeting of Commerce and Labor. We did have more legislation referred to us, so we will be meeting again. And of course, we have this bill in our hands, as well as one that we heard yesterday in our joint session that we will look forward to taking action on. So we thank you all so much and wish you a wonderful day. We are adjourned.